For decades, football fans argued over a simple but difficult question: who was the best club team in the world? Not the best national team, not the best league, but the best club. European champions could dominate the Champions League, South American giants could rule the Copa Libertadores, and clubs from other regions could build powerful dynasties of their own. But comparing them was always complicated because they played in different competitions, against different opponents, in different football cultures. The FIFA Club World Cup exists to answer that question on the pitch. It is FIFA's global club championship, designed to bring continental champions and qualified elite clubs together in one tournament. Today, it is no longer just a short annual event. It has been redesigned into a larger, World Cup-style competition, giving the club game its own global stage. The tournament's story begins in 2000, when FIFA launched the FIFA Club World Championship in Brazil. The idea was ambitious: create a true worldwide club tournament organized by football's global governing body. At the time, however, there was already another famous contest claiming to decide the world's top club, the Intercontinental Cup. That match was played between the winners of Europe's UEFA Champions League and South America's Copa Libertadores. Because European and South American football had historically produced many of the game's strongest clubs, the Intercontinental Cup carried huge prestige. But it left out champions from Africa, Asia, North America, and Oceania. FIFA's new tournament was meant to widen the definition of a world champion beyond just two continents. The first edition in Brazil was unusual because it ran in the same year as the Intercontinental Cup. That meant there were effectively two competitions connected to the idea of a club world title. Over time, FIFA addressed this historical overlap. In 2017, FIFA retroactively recognized winners of the Intercontinental Cup as club world champions, acknowledging the role that competition had played before the modern Club World Cup became established. This matters because football history is built on continuity and recognition. The Club World Cup did not appear out of nowhere; it evolved from earlier attempts to compare the strongest clubs across continents. The 2000 tournament was a starting point for FIFA's broader vision, but it still needed stability, credibility, and a workable format. That stability did not arrive immediately. After the first edition, the tournament was not held from 2001 to 2004. One major reason was the collapse of FIFA's marketing partner, International Sport and Leisure, known as ISL. The failure of such a partner created major financial and organizational problems. Big international tournaments require broadcasting deals, sponsorship, logistics, travel planning, and commercial backing. Without that structure, even a strong sporting idea can become impossible to stage. This interruption showed that the Club World Cup was not just a football concept, it also depended on the business side of the sport. FIFA had to rebuild the project and find a sustainable way to make it part of the football calendar. The competition returned in 2005, and this time it became a regular annual event. That same year, the old Intercontinental Cup was effectively merged with FIFA's Club Championship project. In 2006, the tournament adopted the name we know today, the FIFA Club World Cup. For nearly 2 decades, from 2005 through 2023, it was held as an annual competition. The format was much smaller than the one used today, usually featuring the champions of each continental confederation and a representative from the host nation. This made it compact and relatively easy to stage, but it also meant the tournament was often brief. For many fans, it felt like a final test for the European and South American champions rather than a full global club event. Even in its smaller annual form, the Club World Cup had symbolic power. The winner received the FIFA Club World Cup trophy and the FIFA Champions Badge, a mark that could be worn as proof of global success. For clubs, this was more than another medal. It allowed them to claim a world title in official FIFA competition. For supporters, it was a chance to see their club tested outside its normal environment. A European champion might face a South American side with a completely different rhythm and intensity. A club from Asia, Africa, or North America could challenge the assumptions of global football hierarchy. The tournament created rare matchups that domestic leagues and continental tournaments could not provide. After the 2023 edition, FIFA made the biggest change in the tournament's history. The Club World Cup was restructured from an annual event into a quadrennial tournament, meaning it would be played every 4 years. Starting in 2025, it adopted a format similar to the FIFA World Cup. This shift changed the scale and identity of the competition. Instead of a short annual tournament with only a handful of teams, the new version features 32 clubs. The goal is to create a deeper, more competitive global championship, with more elite teams and more representation from different regions. In practical terms, FIFA turned the Club World Cup from a compact champions event into a major international tournament for club football. The 32-team format is built around continental allocation. Europe receives 12 places, reflecting the depth and commercial power of European club football. South America receives 6 places, recognizing its long tradition of elite clubs and its historic rivalry with Europe in world club competition. Africa, Asia, and North, Central America and the Caribbean each receive 4 places. Oceania receives 1 place, and the host nation receives 1 place as well. This structure tries to balance 2 goals that are often in tension, rewarding the strongest club ecosystems while still making the tournament genuinely global. If the competition included only the very richest leagues, it would not feel worldwide. But if it ignored competitive strength, it could lose credibility. The allocation is FIFA's attempt to manage that balance. Once the teams qualify, the tournament begins with a group stage. The 32 clubs are drawn into 8 groups of 4. Each team plays 3 matches in a round-robin format, meaning every club faces the other 3 teams in its group once. This stage is important because it gives teams more than a single chance to prove themselves. In a one-off match, a red card, injury, or moment of brilliance can decide everything. A group stage rewards consistency and squad depth. It also creates storylines, underdogs trying to survive, giants trying to avoid embarrassment, and clubs from different continents testing themselves against unfamiliar styles. The top 2 teams from each group advance, turning the early phase into a balance of caution, ambition, and pressure. After the group stage, the tournament becomes a knockout competition. 16 clubs move into the round of 16, and from that point forward, each match carries elimination stakes. Win, and the journey continues. Lose, and the dream ends. This is where the World Cup-style structure creates drama. A club may have dominated its domestic league, conquered its continent, and arrived with global expectations, but one bad night can end everything. The knockout rounds also make tactical decisions more intense. Coaches must decide whether to attack early, protect tired players, or risk key stars. Penalties, late goals, and defensive discipline can become defining moments. The path eventually leads to the final, where the winner is crowned world champion of club football. The record books show how success in this tournament has often reflected broader power patterns in club football. Real Madrid hold the record for most Club World Cup titles, with 5 wins. That fits their wider reputation as the most successful club in European competition and one of the defining institutions of global football. Spanish clubs as a whole have won the tournament 8 times, more than clubs from any other nation. England, meanwhile, has produced the largest number of different winning clubs, with 4 English teams lifting the trophy. These details reveal 2 different kinds of dominance, one nation producing repeated winners, and another producing a wide spread of elite clubs. The Club World Cup, in that sense, also becomes a snapshot of where club football power is concentrated. But the tournament is not only about the usual giants. Corinthians' inaugural victory in 2000 remains a landmark because it was achieved by a host nation's National League champion. That result shows why the host place can matter. Playing at home can bring atmosphere, familiarity, and emotional force. For clubs outside the most globally marketed leagues, the Club World Cup offers a rare chance to reshape perception. A strong performance can introduce players to a wider audience, raise a club's profile, and prove that football quality is not confined to one region. Even when wealth and squad depth favor certain teams, the tournament's global nature leaves space for identity, pride, and surprise. That is one reason FIFA has continued trying to expand its significance. The current champions are Chelsea, who defeated Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 in the 2025 final. That result is historically important because it crowned the first winner of the expanded quadrennial era. For Chelsea, it added another global honor to the club's modern trophy history. For the tournament, it gave the new format an immediate headline, a major European final between two high-profile clubs, decided by a clear scoreline. But the larger question is what the competition becomes over time. If clubs, fans, and broadcasters treat it as a true world championship, it could grow into one of the most important events in the football calendar. If fixture congestion and competing priorities weaken interest, it may face criticism. The FIFA Club World Cup is ultimately an attempt to give club football what international football already has, a global tournament where one champion can claim the world. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.